We can start because today, as you know, is a very busy day for all of us, in particular for Sara, of course, because it's apart from the Day of Europe, is also her birthday. Correct, Sara?
Hey! Happy birthday, Sara!
Birthday. Very strange birthday, but
exactly. So we can start. So I want to welcome everybody to this webinar, this moment of debate during the Europe Day. I'm Fabrizio Bitetto. I'm the CEO of garagErasmus Foundation, and I'm very happy to see many interest around the Europe Day, because as you probably know, every year we are organizing many activities in cooperation with our partner, with the other institution, etc. So this year, of course, for the COVID-19, all the physical activities were cancelled from all the NGOs, institutions, etc. But we decided to maintain a moment online, so a very fast interview. It's gonna take more or less half an hour. This interview of this morning. Because we really think that it's important to celebrate the Europe Day. 2020 is also an important year because it's commemorating the 70th anniversary of the Schuman Declaration and the launching of the European integration process. So we decided to focus our attention on two different panels. The first one of this morning and another one this afternoon at 4:30. With the successful stories of local associations. I would like to start to discuss, of course, with Sara and Toñi. Sara Pagliai is the coordinator of the Italian National Agency Erasmus INDIRE, and Toñi Caro is the head of the International Research Project Office at the University of Deusto. With you, I would like to discuss, of course, the topic of the COVID-19 and how will affect the current mobility schemes. And of course, we would like to discuss also and to say something about the future of the Erasmus Plus program, because we know that in 2021 is starting the new Erasmus project. So I think that with people from universities and from national agencies, is the good occasion to discuss with you this topic. So thanks to Sara and Toñi to be here with us today. And I'm starting immediately with some question, if you are agree, on the way to enjoy any minutes that we have during this conversation. I will start with a question to both of you. So we can start with Sara and then with Toñi, if you are agree. So the first question is, how do you think that corona crisis will affect the current mobility schemes? So Sara, if you can tell us something from the point of view of the national agency, and then with the Toñi about the point of view of the universities. Please, Sara, thanks.
Thank you, Fabrizio. Thank you, all garagErasmus. In fact, this is a very strange 9 of May, very particular, but we are all at distance, and this could be something quite opposite of what we think about the Erasmus program. In fact, with the outbreak of the emergency, we faced a lot of challenges because a good part of the students went back home, but in the end, the program, I have to say, shows its resilience. First of all, I must say that in Italy, the situation is that half of the students stayed abroad, remained in the host country, and the other part came back home. But for the large majority, all of them continued with the own learning, distance learning activities that and so with the European Commission, National Agency have the possibility to guarantee the entire grant to the students. So no one is losing money. And this is also important. And the activities go on. Then perhaps we can speak later about this. Erasmus is not only mobility, even if mobility is the very heart of the program, but Erasmus is more than mobility. Is a relationship, is a network, is activities together in Europe. It's really, now we are celebrating the Day of Europe. It is the value of the Schuman Declaration, peace, cooperation, solidarity. These are really part of the Erasmus program.
Great, thanks, thanks, Sara. So I'm very happy to see also that you said that all the students had the opportunity basically to continue their Erasmus experience. Yes. Also, so it means that also the universities gave the opportunity to each student to continue to follow the courses from home, or of course if they decided to stay on Erasmus. So I think that that's an important message on also from universities, because it means that we are going in another perspective, no? So not just about the classes in the universities, but also in another way. So that's something important. So Toñi, what do you think about it? So from the point of view of who is involved in the university schemes.
Okay, first I want to thank for this invitation, Fabrizio, to garagErasmus for all the work you are doing in Europe. You know, I'm very fan of the foundation and all the work that we need to do to spread this European mindset. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Absolutely. Because my screen is black, so this is a very typical thing for these online meetings. Suddenly you are with people, and suddenly you are somewhere in the air. The thing is, how the COVID is affecting the mobility scheme, the Erasmus program. I think it has many layers and many challenges for individuals just to handle the personal situation, whether you were abroad as a student, or if you were expecting to go abroad in the following months, which is very uncertain how we are going to handle the whole situation. And also it has a lot of impact for the professors, the lecturers, all the staff at the university, the international relations offices that were handling one by one each situation for each student, following up whether they have to go back with all the difficulties for mobility and the lockdown of the frontiers between countries, which is, it was so unusual for us. I mean, once we have been working in this free movement and of people and just to have a common space, to be locked down or not free to move. So that was also a challenge for these last 2 months and a half. And it's a big challenge also for universities as a whole that, for example, at Deusto, we have been making this effort of keeping the student life as much as regular as possible with all the staff, professors, but also the deans, etc., everyone trying to move to this online setting, so that people can follow the studies in the more regular way with the whole situation going on. So I think we are all making an effort just to keep this working in the short term, and now working, and maybe we can talk later what we are thinking to keep going in the following months. Huh?
Yeah, perfect. Great, Tony, and thanks for this information, because it's crucial also that we are speaking a lot about the fact of the students and about the impact that they have, but we have also to think, as you said, also on the part of the professors, etc., and the research that are of course affected from this part, and but probably we are speaking less because of course is normal to speak more about the students' problems. I want to connect with your information to another point about the next semester, because of course the next semester is going to be quite strange, because I heard from some of our partner universities that some countries and some universities already said to probably to interrupt some exchange. I heard, from example, from the Polytechnic of Milan, that some university in Australia, that of course is another kind of exchange for the next semester, will stop the exchanges. So I would like to know, from, in this case, from Sara, how will universities adapt to the current circumstances and in particular, under what assumption are your institution working? Because you are working every day with the higher institutions. So, Sara, I would like to know what are the feedback also from the universities that you received, and what is your perspective?
Well, I must say that the community, this education community, is very alive and kicking, and this has been shown, for example, by the number of application forms we received in the last deadline for all the sector we manage within the Erasmus Plus program. We had an increase of requests, and this also, and the feedback also we received from the higher education institution in Italy is that the number of students is increasing. So this means that there is a lot of enthusiasm, and in fact what we are all agree at European level is that we don't have to say that the program is suspended. This would be very serious if we spread this message. On the contrary, we are very optimistic, and we know that now we are facing a challenge, but that there is a lot of need of Erasmus, and we have to invest in the future generation. And about the second semester, I have to say that we are discussing all the national agencies with the European Commission, and what is most probable, I mean, it is not official yet, but this perhaps is the solution, and it could be easily applied in the sense of long-term mobility, is to go blended. That means to start virtually and then hopefully make people finish their activities in physically, because the physical part, of course, is very important in Erasmus. We cannot deny this, of course. Perfect. But this seems the best solution. The other types of solution are extension of the contract. That means that all the mobilities can be rescheduled. So the important for us is that the message is not that the Erasmus is suspended. Erasmus is not suspended. Erasmus is going on.
Perfect. That's what we want to hear, Sara, because it's
I know.
what we
No,
would like.
and then if we don't say this, I mean, we have to believe. Otherwise, we let's say we don't give to a part of a generation of people this opportunity, and this is and this is very serious. So we have to find a different solution to guarantee to this generation of people to have this opportunity to be in Erasmus.
Sure. Now that's crucial because, of course, as we know, the Erasmus project is the flagship project of Europe. So is important. Is the message that we have to share, that the Erasmus is continuing, and that's what you're saying is very important. So that you already find an idea to find a solution. Now then about how we can solve this problem. So that's very important, and I'm very happy to hear this from you. And I want to move now to Toñi, also to have another perspective, because I know that you are following many Erasmus Plus projects on research, etc., with your universities and with many universities in Europe. So I would like to know what is your expectation for the next semester, and how the virus and the crisis will affect the Erasmus Plus project in your sector, in the part of research, etc. Toñi.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we are under big discussion at the moment. I think it's very early because there is a very uncertain time so far, with many inputs which are contradictory many times coming in, and we have to position in the short term. So that means, what are we going to do when we open the university in September? So we are working in remote now, with different situations of, for example, lecturers and professors doing these remote classes with their small children at home. So they have to move the times for the classes just to make this compatible with the family. But we don't know how we are going to handle this in September, when so usually, or the assumption is that we won't have the lockdown. So we come back to the university, but we need the social distance. So the whole thing will change in the class, for example, because we need to have less people in the class. That means that we have to change the whole numbers of incoming students into the classes, and also of the incoming students from abroad. So we are in this scenario at the moment, saying now we have to secure the way the university work in a regular basis. We have, for example, this situation of these degrees where mobility and the Erasmus program is compulsory, but the whole situation doesn't make it possible. So we have a problem of regulation with the ministry and with these people that are in this type of degrees. And I'm talking about international relations, for example. They have 1 year compulsory abroad, or people coming. So we have the whole rectoral team and the managing team at the university working full-time just to find the solutions in a more personalized way to all this situation. And it will depend on how the pandemic evolves, and also how the lockdown of frontiers and mobility will work. So mobility is very, very important for the program, for the experience. And we know we have to be very creative on how we blend things together, just to combine those cases when people won't be able to travel or to move.
Sure. No, we have to, of course, to be optimistic. Of course, it's so difficult now to think on what will happen in the next months, because of course the situation is still open, and we have to find solutions. So thanks for the part regarding the coronavirus and the next semester. So I would like to finish the debate, because we have a few minutes, because then I know that there are other meetings today, etc. Also, Sara has another meeting. So I want to start with you with the one question regarding the new Erasmus Plus or the new Erasmus program that will start in 2021. Of course, we hope to finish this period of coronavirus as soon as possible. But then we want to put our attention on the future, no? So on the next and about the new program. So I don't know, Sara, if you, in your position, you are in touch with the European Commission basically every day, I think so.
Yes.
So we would like to do something about some news or some scoop that probably you can have about the new Erasmus program. We are very curious to discover it and to know how will change the mobility in the next semester. So if you can tell us some info or some scoop, we are more than happy about it.
As you all know, the Commission published the proposal of the new regulation, Erasmus 2021-2027, 2 years ago in May 2018, and since then we worked together, National Agency, European Commission, but also all stakeholders at European level to co-create the new program. And in fact, the program, the structure of the program is ready, and it is, for example, this month we have the new the deadline for the new accreditation, the new Erasmus Charter for higher education. That is a concrete step in the perspective of the future. So from the Commission side and from the National Agency side, we did the work, and the program is almost ready. It's ready. What is now? What is happening from now on after the coronavirus? Well, there is one very crucial point. That is that the multi-financial framework has to be approved. The multi-financial framework has not been approved yet. And this is something crucial, vital, important, because at that moment we know how much money the program will receive, how much is the investment in the education, in culture, in this field. And as you could easily understand, now we are quite a bit worried about, because of course, Europe is facing this big challenge of the sanitary emergency. We need the money to recover from this very serious crisis. We are afraid that money will be taken from this this sector. We hope not. So we have to demonstrate that the program is really valid and it is worth the investment. So we should stay all together to the Erasmus program. I think that to invest in this program is very important. So I hope no one will come back to the decision, because in the proposal of the Commission, the new program should have at least the double of the funding. So we hope that this trend will be maintained even in the future. I hope that the member states and European Union will see that to invest in education, in culture, is to invest in the future of our world, in the future of our, first of all, young people. So
Great.
this is the most important thing. For the rest, technically speaking, the program is ready. What it lacks now is to know exactly the amount of investment.
So that is going to be the crucial part.
Exactly, the approval of the multi-financial framework.
And what do you think about the timeline? Do you think that we are going to have some news in the next period, or with this crisis of the COVID, we have no idea about when we will know something about it?
As I said, this deadline for the new charter, for the new Erasmus charter for higher education is a concrete step, and it is also politically important to demonstrate that we are going on. And the official position of the European Commission is that the new program will start the 1st of January 2021. This depends also on the approval of the financial framework. So these two things are very linked. But at the moment, the official position of the Commission is that the new program will start at the beginning of the new year.
Perfect, great, Sara. Thanks for the information. And I'm going with the last question to Toñi about your expectation from the point of view of the university from the new program, because you worked a lot in many Erasmus Plus projects. I know that the University of Deusto is very active. You have several cooperation with many universities. So you reached many important results in the previous years. I would like to know what are your expectations for the next program, and what do you think about the benefit that can bring to the universities, and of course to the students and to all the people involved in the university life?
Well, that's many questions in one. So the first expectation is that the negotiation of the multi-annual financial framework, as Sara was saying, is not cutting down the investment in education and the mobility and the coordination and cooperation programs among universities, which I think it was very well negotiated so far. It was a more ambitious program, trying to reach more people, more sectors, and a broader scope of the education system. I mean, vocational and education was coming in stronger, but also issues like sports and cultural things were coming in, and a reach to be more inclusive in terms of other group of students and other smaller institutions coming into the program. So we hope this is not very much affected by a cut down of the budget. So we are helping our national contact points and our all the lobby that we can do from the university side to boost that. So that's the first expectation, because we think we need the investment for making this stronger and working towards the achievement of the objectives of the mobility and also the cooperation and research programs in Europe. We have done a lot. We have been, as you said, from Deusto, very active since the beginning, since the piloting of the Erasmus program, the Bologna process. And so we have been working because we are convinced that we are European, we have to build the Europe projects together, and education is a key issue. So we have been working in the academic side just to make sure that we could have all this validation, that people could move with their degree or their record, their student record, and go from one place to another with this recognition that what it has been done in other country is valid for the rest. We have been also working a lot on how to make this long-lasting cooperation among universities, and I think the new European Universities Program is going in that direction, so that all this work we have been doing for many years, we are just bringing that into a package and making it more comprehensive in a way, yeah? So that we build European campuses, and that with the new situation with the pandemic, etc., will make us more creative in a way to find new ways to make cooperative programs with the students working together in different settings.
Sure.
So there are a lot of possibilities, but also a lot of threats, and we have to cope with the situation and to help building in a positive mindset, because that's we can be very pessimistic, but we have to be convinced that we can do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know. I would like to thank you, Toñi and Sara, because apart that we need this optimistic part from who is involved directly in the Erasmus projects, etc. As you said, there are many projects like, as a European University project that probably is the future also of the Erasmus program, because at the end it's going to be an Erasmus adapted to all the students for their career in the university. So it's gonna be crucial. I'm happy to hear those news from your side and from your expectation. I know that unfortunately we need to leave our speakers because there are many activities today, and so I hope to have the chance to have another discussion in the future with you. Also to give opportunity to the people to ask questions. I saw many things in the chat, many questions. Unfortunately, we don't have time today to answer to those questions. So thanks, Sara, and thanks, Toñi, for your participation to the first activity of the day of Erasmus Quo Vadis. This afternoon, we are going to have another activity at 4:30 on Facebook and here on Zoom. We're gonna share some success cases from the Erasmus generation. So we have people that, thanks to the Erasmus, reach many results, and they will share it with the people. Also to give new ideas about how to improve projects, activities, also to create new connections with the Erasmus Plus program. So thanks, Sara, and thanks, Toñi. I hope to see you soon physically and not just in a virtual way. And happy birthday again to Sara.
Grazie.
And a happy day.
Thank you.
Europe to all of you. Thanks, guys.
Grazie.
And see you this afternoon for all the ones that want to follow the activity of garagErasmus in the afternoon. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye then.
Bye.
Bye.